married. But to Rebecca's question,
So Susie Rebecca, she asked the question. She said, Beans, why did you tell your son not to date a black woman?
Because y'all don't like being married. My son, he like his dad. He's an emotional kid. He lived with his heart on his sleeve. He was, that once me and his mom separated, that separating thing can really affect kids, and they yearn for that male female connection in their life. If they can't see it from their parents, then they want it from themselves. And he wanted it in a bad way. Them first couple of girlfriends, they lasted the entirety of his high school years. The two girlfriends, just to show you what kind of boy he was. He wasn't running around in the streets trying to chase girls. He wanted his woman. And once I saw him really starting to get into girls, let's just be honest about who y'all are, sis. Like, I love y'all. I just did 5 songs praising women, saluting women, loving women, and all of that. But I'm not gonna lie about who y'all are. I'm not gonna pretend about what y'all can be. And my son was a nerd. He don't care about no Jordans. He don't care about no Gucci. He don't care about none of that. He had his cross training shoes on, his little jogging pants with his high water socks, and he's sitting on 2K with his homies. And a couple of his homies was girls. And then his girlfriend be on the FaceTime, his homeboys be in the headset, and that was his life. He wasn't trying to be out in the streets and be nobody's stud. And unfortunately, come on, sis, you know what it is with y'all. We like after all these years, essentially 5-6 years of all these podcasts. At this point, we can literally say hundreds of thousands of men have come out and gave the same story about what we've dealt with dealing with our sisters. And all y'all do is gaslight us, tell us we gay, tell us we broke, and everything else except for addressing y'all behavior. So I just told him, hey, I know you want love. I know you want a woman, wife, kids, and all of that. You're not going to get it with nobody who look like us. You might want to get you a first-generation Hispanic woman. And that's what he did. His first 2 girlfriends, one was mixed, and the first one was mixed. Her mama was white, the daddy was black. And then the second girl was first-generation Hispanic. Her daddy didn't even speak English. Now he in Georgia. And I'm scared because he down there with all them highs.
The one that got away, man. This is what he say. What y'all think about what he said? It's a broadcast.
I don't think he was wrong in just how we present as Black women as a whole. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but the reality is we see it a lot more often than we don't, as far as Black women, not accepting, if we're talking about Black women, not accepting a certain type of guy, like you said, a nerd. And I know, Hamp, you had the panel when you asked us, do we prefer nerds or, thug adjacent or lame adjacent? So that kind of proved that point. So I can't be upset at what he said. I was just wondering why he said it.
I agree with Rebecca as far as, and first, I'm sorry. Howdy, y'all. With the fact that it's just the narrative that's been put out there, and being that we don't want to be submissive, we don't want to be married, we don't want a certain type of man, all the et ceteras. And unfortunately, it has bled onto all of us to where everybody, it doesn't even matter. Like, if you're the softest girl, and all of that has just got on all of us, that whole picture. And then when we try to even be like, oh, nah, that's not me, or we're considered mammies, or we're pandering, or you might get taken advantage of, to where you may have to insert what may be considered masculinity because somebody's trying to walk all over you or use you. So, I mean, you just got to pick your battles at the end of the day. It's sad that he said that to his son, because I would like to think I think his wife was black, was she not? The one that he had the kids with.
Yeah.
I would like to think that he's going to be naturally attracted to the woman that he saw every day. And so to be like, nah, don't date him, it's like, what? But that's just my thoughts.
So you're saying that you acknowledge the behavior. Do you think he was wrong for saying that to Baby Boy?
No, not that I think he was wrong, because his feelings and his experiences are valid to why he said that. But I just think it was messed up. It's just like, damn. Like, but
Messed
it
up
is.
how though?
Well, I think it's messed up that the experiences that he went through or things that he may have seen led him to that conclusion to say, don't date him. Instead of being like, hey, have some discernment. Here's some things to look for. Or, it was just don't date him. So,
Yeah, well, I think his if you want marriage, if you want a steady relationship, you need to go outside your race to get it. That's what he told him.
yeah, I understand. But,
So when you say, I guess I'm just trying to understand, when you say it's fucked up, what do you mean by that?
well, I said it's messed up, but I I think it's messed up, that, like I said, that whatever experiences that he's had and whatever he's going through had put the effect on him to where he had to tell his son exactly that. Not, hey, choose better, and regardless of the race, it was don't date black women.
Oh,
That's what.
are you hitting them with the who hurt you in a nice way?
No, because I totally understand. That's why I wanted to say I didn't want to put personally, and why I said I just think that it's messed up that all the stuff he's been through and things that he may have seen led him to that. I don't want to. Not we ain't doing that. And plus, I've been through a lot as well in my life, and I've seen things, but I ain't never been like, oh, don't do that. Like, nah. Ninjas get on my nerves, but I love y'all. For sure.
Okay, I will walk it down some more, but I want to get a couple of the opinions in, because I'm trying to really understand what it is you mean, because you being kind of diplomatic. I feel. I'm saying feel. Anybody else?
Yeah, being smart enough to know that's stupid to say, but I think that YouTube has got to a lot of guys' heads in this space to where they just say what the majority would like to hear. Um, I'm not even sure if his son is all black, because I know his preference is Puerto Rican women, which he has said on more than one occasion. So to introduce or push that on your son is lame as hell.
No,
And
the mom is black.
oh, that one's black. Okay, because I know he said okay. Yeah, I don't know why he would do that. That sounds crazy. I've said you black men are unfit before, and a few people couldn't believe I would say that, and this is why. You are trying to weed out your own race. I don't get it. It's sad. It's terrible. It's weak as hell, you know. And then the thing is, it's black women that support you black men the most. Still to this day, after hearing all this crap online, you know.
What bothers me, sis, is just like he says that, but we've seen what in 2024, what was it, at least 3 to 4 black men that were unalived by white women that they were in long-term relationships with. I don't understand this. Oh, black women do this, but for everybody else, you're a spicy Latina, or she's passionate, or she's a tiger mom. It's like you can put these isms on all their non-black women, and you need to like that on top of. I can see it if he didn't date black women. Like if you're saying, I say no more black women, but I think he still dates black women. So it just seems a bit odd to me. And as a mother, I would love for my son to be with a black woman, but I want him to be with the person that he loves and she treats him well. And I'm not putting a race to that. I
And I
want
promote to my son, and see, that's where I stop it right there. I tell him all the time, there's a black woman that is going to love and treat you well. So now, my son, he's only going to 8th grade, but his little friend is a pure black girl, you know, and I
what's
praise him for that because I have to in this society because older black men spread this stupidity amongst the masses, and it's
what
terrible. It's tacky.
well this is what I will say. My son is 27, so he went through that little Latina phase. He promptly has returned back to black women, and he likes
Yeah.
deeply women.
I don't say date whomever makes you. No, that's stupid. There's millions of black women out here you can choose. One will treat you well.
Right,
You know, there's no perfect race. And they say they
right,
don't compare us to other races, but they do it outwardly all the time. And it's
right.
sad and it's sickening. And then look at Shannon Sharp. These should be prime examples. These should be plastered on their foreheads, but they're still screaming out passport this and passport that. Look at Diddy. Look at these men going down and being embarrassed. You know, getting millions taken from them. And here these black men go still saying stupid stuff like this. Kevin Samuels, I won't not say it. He died with a Latina in his home. Why? You know? Stop playing. I don't know why they keep playing like this. It's very sad.
You ain't told a tale yet.
I don't know. I just see him as protecting what's his, because if he
Well, I
sees
expect you to say that, but what
how
I'm saying, I hope it was heard amongst the masses. It's
he,
tacky. The black men need to stop. And we don't need to support that just because we're on YouTube right now. Black women don't need to support that mess. He's telling his son the right thing. He was also collecting money for his son to come back from Georgia some months ago. But
when
yesterday he said his son is still in Georgia. Stop believing what these people talking about on YouTube.
Ooh,
we're
Jesus.
missing the message. So it sounds like all we heard was, okay, don't date black women. And he has every right to say that because that's his son. I don't have any children, but if I did, I would have an opinion on what to tell them on or who to date because of my experience in the world. And that sounds like that's exactly what he's doing. When the main point was because our attitudes or because we don't want to submit
Tate, every
a whole problem and
but
we don't
here,
want accountability for that
no, no,
because
no, no. I don't think it's a lack of accountability. I think it's a
it
lack of
is.
something
It
that
is because and all you're
no,
saying now is, well, that's stupid. But did you hear what the man said?
that's not what I said. So I didn't say it was stupid. What I said is this: women
That's
are
the
women, and
understanding.
I'm not going to down black women and elevate another race. I'm going to say that there can be
Well,
white
he
women.
wasn't downing them. He just said don't date them because he don't want him to marry him. Clearly, but his experience with the black woman is clearly different than what his son's experience with the black woman will be.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just say that.
That's her feelings, Tiff. That's how she feels.
I didn't say anything, Alexis.
No, it's facts. It don't have anything to do with how I feel. Because
That's her.
I mean, it's sad to hear. As a black woman, that's sad to hear. That's how I feel. But the fact
No,
of the
that's
matter is, that man has every right to protect his family,
No, it's
and that's
disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the black
that's
women
a
who
feeling.
do
That's
behave.
a feeling.
It's disrespectful to the black race of women who still support him, who was jamming to his music. The you know when he sent it to him and was playing it, we were supporting him in the chat. You know, ready to buy the record because it sounds good. But now it's a dub. You know why? Because behind the scenes they don't give a fuck about us. You know, so
Sis,
that's how it should go.
the context of what he was saying of why was important, and that was why I asked the question. It wasn't like, oh yeah, black women in whole. It was like because of these certain behaviors and what his son wanted. That was why. And even in his son's own experience, as he said, didn't reflect what the, what the black woman that he was dating wanted. So That's all I'm listening to is the context. Yeah, it hurts as a Black woman to hear, like, that hurt is real. But it's like, dang, well, what he's saying as far as the context is what mattered the most of why he said it. And that's what I see. And I'm like, I get it. He's protecting his son because of what his son wants. And clearly in his son's own experience, didn't receive those things from Black women.
That's not what he said.
That's not what
And
did he try. Go ahead, Ted.
like that's definitely not what he said. I think again, when we push our agendas on our children, it is absolutely a setup for him to say he was like, oh, well, he's nerdy and he's this and he's that. There are plenty of Black girls that are anime. There are plenty of Black women that are nerdy. There are plenty. Like, I don't like when we try to wrap us up and try to say every Black woman has an attitude. That is not a true statement. He needs to probably get out and see and visit and inquire and get around some different people, because things can be different. And my thing is this: it is a problem when you are saying culturally there's no Black woman that's worthy of marriage because she's going to be loud or boisterous, or she's not going to be able to be compromising. I don't think that's a true statement. I definitely know there's way too many people that are happily married to Black women. And to me, the part for me where I find it hypocritical is, don't give your son that advice and you're still dating Black women. Because those of us that have children understand that kids do not what you say, they do what they see you doing. So you can advise him, but until the minute you start dating only non-Black women, what you're doing is you're putting a worm in his brain. I don't have to agree with it. That's like, nah, that's dumb.
Yeah, but he's smart though. He's smart. He's a nerd. He'll probably get to a point to where he'll figure it out on his own, what's what and what's not. It may take him a minute, but he'll figure it out. And at the end of the day, whatever experiences that Beans had is what he had. But at the same time, it says something to the women. If we're up here saying that we don't like that, then what are we doing to present in a way to where when I say, oh, I don't like that because we all not like that, what are we doing to show that? In this moment, what are any of us like? Because the point that he was making, Sis and Tiff just put it out there to where why he's like, don't date him. So
Listen, you can say what you want, but here's the one thing: it's okay to have it's okay to express yourself, and it's okay to have passion behind it. You can call it what it is, and then you can also make it seem like this is what he's talking about. This is not what he's talking about. Beans understands content and information that's shared. He this ain't what he's talking about. So for you to say that was weird. But at the end of the day, he was dead wrong for saying what he said. And until we say it out loud, these Black men are going to keep it. I mean, everybody needs to be on the same page. I
what
don't
part was weird?
understand how you guys as Black women don't see that as a slap in the face and disrespectful. I don't understand that. That's the first problem. I think
But what is
now
weird about what I
they
said,
what
Chris?
has you that's weird that you would try to put it out there that my response to that BS would be what he's referring to.
Because you got up here, you dogged you made the point about Black women supporting his music, and then you dogged him and you made shots at him. That's the type of stuff that
What do you
he
mean
was
by
talking.
dogged him? What do you mean by
Well,
dogged him?
you threw but the word
Mhm.
you threw shots at him, made statements about his music or whatever. So that can be a point that he can take to say, this is why
What did
I
I
said
say
it.
about his music? That it was
You
good,
said
right?
you said that the women were supporting it, and now it
Right.
was a.
And it was
Did you say
good.
it was a dud? Oh, you said it was
It's a
good.
dub now because now he's
Oh, I
saying,
thought you said it was
fuck
a
you, Black
dud. My
women.
apologies. My
Right. You
apologies.
see
I
how
thought
people
you said
just
it
be
was a dud.
talking? You see how people just be talking, right? So
No, I just
with that
we're
said, I'm
online,
saying
and
we can take it
sometimes
as
your camera is
disrespect.
lagging, so I didn't
That's
hear
all
what you
that's what
said.
that's all that's what it. That's all that's it.
Nah,
It's very disrespectful for him to get up on this platform and say that. That's all I'm saying. Even if he was on his own platform, I think it would be disrespectful, and it is.
well, I don't represent all black women, and there's some black women that I know that are doing things that probably unbecoming or things that I wouldn't do. And at the end of the day, I mean, I'm gonna say what I say, and regardless how somebody else takes it or their experience, I can't be like, oh, well, this is me, so you shouldn't have that experience. But I don't. I mean, it's messed up, but I don't feel like it's a slap in the face.
It was a slap.
Yeah, I understand where he was coming from, but I just feel like it was kind of a slap in the face because it's like you can tell him this, but still I feel like you shouldn't write your own people off. So
Right.
like with my daughter, she dates outside her race, but I tell her every day, like, you should date your race because you can still find these people. Like, I don't write them off completely. I just feel like it was a write-off. So no, I may not have agreed with like the delivery, but I understand 100% why he said it. It's just like he still should have still supported the black unity, bottom line. So
Why do you feel like you understand why he said it? Help me to understand that.
because I have a daughter who
Mhm.
is like Bean's daughter. She's in band. She's a little quirky. So I know, like,
And I'm not trying to cut you, but I was in band, I was in choir, I was in orchestra, and my husband is black. And I've dated out, but I've always preferred black men. And my mother,
and I understand that.
nor my
So
father, when I say that I've
what I'm
never
telling
been
you is
advised.
my daughter.
No, but I'm just saying you wouldn't advise your daughter to not date black men. You just said I don't say that. You're
Exactly.
but he said it. He said, "Do not." If you literally, if
And
you
I
want to
said
marry,
that was
date a
the only thing I did not agree with because
If
in the
you want
sense
to get
of
married,
him telling
don't
her,
date a black woman. Make
so
it make like
like
what?
I said, I agree with what he said as to look, you may not find it in the black community, but I still wouldn't have
Right.
written it off. I still would have told him that there's still hope. That's what I said. So
But what's the why? Why? But I'm
Excuse-
asking you, Todd, like, what's the why would he not find it? Why?
because it may not, everything ain't for everybody, so he may not find it. But at the end of the day, why does that matter? That don't matter. I said I agree. He wrote us off. He should have still said you could still find us. He should have still gave him fucking shit to help him find it. Like help him find it in the black community. I never said that. Like
Okay.
what?
No, I'm just asking because what you're saying, I get it. That's not what he said. And I think what Sis is saying is absolutely impactful because you are in a very black space where black women come and we were big up in the music. Everybody enjoyed it. And then for you to flip around and say that your son could never find love in a black woman if he wants to have marriage, but we talk about as a community, we need to have more marriages. It's hypocritical and it's downright nasty. It's diabolical. It's diabolical BS. And it's not helpful.
Well,
I would like to say that I can understand something, but me understanding it doesn't mean that it's right or doesn't mean that it's wrong. For instance, if a man murdered the person that did something to his wife, we can understand that. Like, oh, we can understand that, right? But does it make it right? No, it doesn't make it right in the eyes of the courts. They're not going to be like, oh, well, it's okay. We can understand that logic. Like, yes, what he said may not have been right or may not have made some people feel good because there's some people that feel right about what he said. And just like there's some people that don't like what he said. But we can understand it. But understanding it doesn't mean that she's dumb or that she's doing, she says it.
So I kicked the person off a stream one time, Alexis, because they were doing that thing, right? Like we're asking about the conversation, you know. So we say we have understanding about what he said. What do you think about what he said? How do you feel about what he said? What is your response to what he said? Are you saying that is okay? That recommendation makes sense based on black women's behavior? Because the title of the show is the one that got away. Behavior is uberly important. So has his point of why he said, because what he said specifically was about wives, wives specifically, right? Now, and being, because like sis said, he is a smart, right? He processes information, he understands the statistics and etc. So he not just talking. So when he says wives specifically, I guarantee he has something there to back up why he used wives specifically. Okay, so what that would say is the conduct, the wants of black women don't align with marriage. Okay, so now what's your understanding now based on that, Alexis?
That as far as women, black women not aligning or wanting marriage, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't. And my apologies. Like I just, the fact that it was like, oh well, why, and saying that we understand it. It was like, we understand it. It's simple as that. It was understood why he made that comment. But I don't agree with that we're not looking for marriage. I think maybe some priorities may be messed up, or not messed up, rearranged now with black women because of what is obtainable to them, or what they think is attainable, or what we think is attainable. So, but I think women want to get married. Black women specifically want to get married.
Okay, but you disqualify your statements by putting maybe in front of it weakens what you're saying.
I know, maybe
like you're saying, well, maybe because of this. What are the things that would make him say that and think that and give that recommendation to his son? What are the things? Or how can you prove otherwise and retort what he said if you disagree?
I just disagree on the fact that the black women that I know, a lot of them are married, and the ones that I knew before they got married, they did want to get married. They did some things that like focused on a career, and then they still eventually got married. But that's why I don't agree with it, because of the women that I've seen and been around. When they said they wanted to get married, they got married. Black women specifically.
What is it? I'm gonna ask the question again, and then we're gonna circle back, because I think I understand that a nominal, not a nominal number of us, right, but a minority of us are married, right? So we're trying to understand. But I just want to be clear, right? Like, you didn't retort him. You just said the people I know are married, but we know the overwhelming majority of us aren't married. Callie, let me ask Callie and Jalen, since I got to pull their teeth to join the conversation. What do y'all think about what Bean said? Is he justified? Is he correct? Do you have a retort? Because the one that got away, see, you think it's all about you and the one nigga that you might have fucked up with, right? But you got a whole lot of people. The percentage points dropped, Callie, from 87 to 83% of black men with black women. 7 percentage points to that mass of people ain't nothing to sneeze at. The passport shit, right? It was taboo, from what I gathered. Even when I had all the, I don't know if you remember, Callie, I had all the passport bros on the panel. You remember I had like 6 or 7 of them on the panel. And they was kind of just talking, and we just kind of talking about it. I was up there kind of dolo, so I kind of had to retort or push back. They start talking about Nigeria and shit like that, right? So I started talking about northern Nigeria, how the girls are young when they get married, but that's the Muslim part, But I was kind of being strategic. I had to give some pushback, But it's not taboo anymore. They keep the undesirable thing, even though OkCupid was slightly debunked, it seems to still be consistent. It still sounds like they putting Asian men and black women still at the bottom, aside from OkCupid. And then the propaganda is loud as fuck about the conduct being unbecoming. But if it's louder than the truth, is it propaganda anymore? Or is that what people really believe? So what is the pushback? Because the one that got away is really real. And it's more than just, a relationship that might have failed for you. Not you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you anecdotally speaking. But the conduct seems to be the overarching reason why these things are happening. The alleged conduct. Go ahead.
Definitely the loudest, squeakiest of wheels gets the attention, right? I think
Okay.
at this point it's like a runaway. It's like a runaway concept. So the more that we keep saying that black women are terrible, black women are terrible, and they describe these terrible
Mm-hmm.
behaviors, and then you ask them, well, have you, like, but the whole thing about frowning when I come into the store type stuff or whatever, and then you ask them, has that ever happened to you? And it's like, no. Oh, well, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's starting to it propagates itself. And I definitely I would never tell my sons anything like that. I would never further that behavior because they see something different themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're not seeing the same shit that's talked about on the internet or whatever. So why would I would never go ahead and push that onto him. Push some shit onto them that he's not seeing. Now, as far as like the I guess the demeanor or whatever of his son, the reason why he's not finding success or anything like that with black women, um, I would have a different recommendation. Um, you know, go down in I guess in looks or whatever is the thing. Go down in looks for a more for more cooperation type deal. I would ask them, where are you looking? Where's the pool? I would have different suggestions other than to throw the whole race of women over your shoulder and go up and go outside your race type deal. I will say that there is merit. There is some merit to the stereotype, but for the stereotype to be that prominent where it would the percentage points would jump that much, I don't think it's justified. I think we talking about the same archetype of people, and that same archetype is just louder now, but I don't think it's more widespread.
Hmm.
Archetype of woman, I should say.
Okay. Okay. I think my damn internet just switched to my phone. Can y'all hear me?
You're good. You're good.
Hmm. I don't know. Right, Callie? Because when I asked the question, the preference for most black women was thug adjacent. The qualifying or disqualifying factors that exist in our culture, right? When you use the anecdotal example, and Mr. Fantastic talks about this a lot, about how regular guys just get passed over in our culture because they don't fit that archetype. So what is, if you want, do you want your son to be successful or be successful in a confine? Or or is it only within that confine?
I think the thug adjacent is the regular guy.
Really?
I think yes, absolutely. I think that the yeah, I think the thug adjacent is the regular guy. It's the guy that can still go on ahead and handle his business and be successful out here, but also don't take no shit off of nobody either. I think it's well rounded. I think that's a well rounded person, as opposed to being
Hmm.
on the extremes of either end.
Hmm. Hmm. See, because I don't want to put. I I think that most men would just disagree with that. I just think that most men would disagree with that because the thug adjacent had to have absorbed that energy and seen that shit somewhere and have a level of participation. The overwhelming majority of us don't even. There's like 70% of people don't even have police contact.
But it's
Don't you
adjacent.
gotta
It's not
prove
thug.
that? Don't it have to be in your history somewhere?
In order to be thug adjacent, you had to have been a thug before. I don't think so.
What'd you say, Callie? My bad.
I was saying to be thug adjacent means that you had to have been a thug before. I don't think so. I don't think that. I don't think that. I don't think that across the board. No.
I think that it's too convenient for the thug adjacent to now be the norm for most men in this conversation to make that point. I gotta be honest. So now the normal guy is thug adjacent, the average guy is thug adjacent. Now today,
No, I would no. The juxtaposition you gave was the regular guy.
yeah, normal, regular.
So we're
That's what I
saying,
said.
yeah. So we're saying
Average.
that. Yeah, I think the average guy is one that is successful and don't take no shit off of nobody either. When will activate when needed.
Well, that's all men, right? I mean, not necessarily a thug adjacent one.
Most niggas ain't doing
I
this
don't
fucking
know.
thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's all men. No.
Okay.
It's not even most. Like it's not the average guy. Yeah, maybe okay, will protect himself, sure.
Right. I mean, well, I guess that's what I mean. Yeah.
But the disposition to be the aggressor is much less likely in most men. The entire prison population is 1 million people out of 360 million people. Most people just moving around in the earth. Most people let shit slide because they got work and lives to live. A lot of people ain't going off the handle. People ain't dying for respect. People ain't arguing over respect. That just ain't happening in mass.
Okay. Well, I stand corrected. I think it's unfortunate, but I stand corrected.
What you think, Jalen?
If his advice to his son was to widen his options, I don't disagree with it. The reasoning behind it, I wouldn't argue is fully impartial. I think there's some internalization in the advice that he's giving, considering his experience with Black women. I think if he was being fair, I think he would just tell his son to just explore his options, not specifically date outside of his race. Because there are still Black women that have the qualities that he's looking for in a wife.
Okay. But I think he's looking at his son's potential success rate, right? Like my father did construction, right? He would do construction every day. And when we go with him, he make it the hardest it ever was. So we made sure that we didn't also have to do construction. So when I'm looking at it, I'm saying because we're looking at him and saying, okay, well, you do it. That's probably how he would then have a sentiment of what to do or not to do. Now, me personally, I don't agree. I forbid my son. You know, but when all the information he has, what's the pushback? What's the retorts? Are you saying, all right, cool, it is what it is? That's what he want to tell him. That's what he tell him. As a Black woman, is that simple?
I don't agree with it, but I'm not that boy's mother. I can't tell him how to father his son. I personally do not agree. Again, I don't agree with it personally. But if he's going to tell his son based off of the information he has to widen his options, who am I to say he's wrong?
A Black woman. But if you don't think he's wrong, then
I'm
cool.
not implementing my feelings into it.
What do you mean?
If Beans is saying he's getting this information from actual sources, like because the way his mind works, it's not just anecdotal experience, right? So if he's looking and assessing, like you just said, his options out here based off of data, he's looking out for his son, like you said.
Okay. So you agree that most black women aren't wives?
If there's data to back that up, sure.
So you agree that most black women aren't wives?
If there's data to back that up, sure.
What do you mean?
I
If
would
do you know if
concede.
there's data?
No, that's why I said if.
Well, the data would be simply marriage rates would say that most black women aren't wives, right? If you just go off the data of the 26% married, then wouldn't that data prove that? If most of our kids are born out of wedlock, then wouldn't that data simply I mean, is it that simple for you? So those two statistics prove the point.
If I had a child, no.
What you mean?
If I was giving advice to my son, no.
But the data,
But
they would leverage the data and you would give a concession based on the data, but you wouldn't recommend that to your son based on data.
Yeah, because that's not how I would do things.
What would you do to you? What would you tell your son? Hold on, Tiff. What would you tell your son, Jay?
Don't internalize heartbreak and generalize it to a specific subset of people just based off of their race. This is just your anecdotal experience. There are plenty of other women to choose from, plenty of black women to choose from, of all different archetypes, colors, creeds, backgrounds, everything. Let's figure out what you want and see how you can get there, instead of sitting here and internalizing that you will never find a black woman to be your wife.
Okay. So keep hope alive.
I mean, if that's not enough to tell somebody, then I don't know. I think it would be the easier route to be pessimistic and tell them to avoid a whole group of people. Right?
Say it again.
Yeah.
It would be pessimistic to tell your young child who has not been in the world that long to avoid a whole group of people.
No.
Instead of keeping hope alive.
No.
Why wouldn't it be pessimistic?
You think it's pessimistic if I tell Chug don't date white women?
No.
I know.
Date white women?
I mean, my thing is this: I wouldn't pigeonhole it to a race of people. I would pigeonhole it to behaviors, right? So as much of a bigot as I can be when it comes to procreation and things like that, I wouldn't be happy. But if it happened that way, but I would have to accept it because I know he found one of them would have found their person based off of character traits and not just because they just wrote off a whole race of people, whether that be, black, white, or or indifferent. I would rather them find their person and be somebody outside of the race because they're indifferent of the race and more so focused on the characteristics.
I'm gonna tell y'all, the one that got away, right? There's already allegations like there's not enough black men locked up, black men ain't getting educated. All that shit still happening. We literally looked at the stream. But now y'all saying, who am I to stop them? Well, what can I say? What can I do about it? It is what it is. And then you left with less and less and less options. Bean's son, we use the word nerd incorrectly. He actually do cool shit. Because what he does is cool shit. Like my nephew, he do cool shit like that. That's the reason why sis internet ain't working, because he downstairs playing fucking Minecraft, whatever that game is they play. So now the cool niggas get the go. Thuggin' ain't cool. Hey Callie, they rappers do drugs and wear anime shirts.
I just find it odd. A lot of
Yeah, I
times, the
don't.
things that we are, especially when we say cool and not cool, specifically with American culture, a
Hey
lot of
Callie, we can hear the fan now. Hold on, say my bad. We can hear the fan now, Callie.
Okay, okay.
I think a lot of what it is we are very quick to dismiss the things that we make extremely popular, and we're very quick to like pigeonhole our interest. Um, I've liked anime for many, many years, way before it was a cool thing to do. Like I said, I am a band nerd. I played a bass clarinet. Like, you don't get any more nerdier. That did not make me not desire particular people. I get super concerned when we're giving people outs and we're talking about building as a community. And even if you do want to say, like, hey, I'm okay with you saying date the best person, but when you start to say, if you want to be married, don't date black women, that's nuts. That's nuts, because you are insinuating that black women are able to have sex with, date, but now when it's time to commit and have children, she's not a viable person. So what are you going to do? Play with black women, and then when you are ready to get married, okay, now let me find a non-black? That's wild as hell, and I'm not co-signing that. I'm not okay with that. That's wild. That's wild as hell. And it is disrespectful. It's very disrespectful, because you are literally saying a whole race of people that birthed you, look like you, and who you date are not worthy of marriage and commitment. And then we wonder why we got all these kids out of wedlock. Like, no, hell no. Absolutely the fuck not. And pardon my language, but absolutely the fuck not. No.
What's the
I would.
I missed the question. They said what's a typical black go ahead, Callie.
I was gonna say that. And now I do agree with you on the nerd thing being uh miscategorized, if that's a word. Because it's not like how it was, 20, 30 years ago, right? The comic book nerd and everything like that, comic books are, cool now, and anime is straight now, and all that kind of stuff like that, right? So it's a different dynamic or whatever. Um, I would say maybe square would be a more appropriate word than nerd.
Mm.
But I think what we're trying to because all that stuff is part of is like a part of us now, right? It's like a thing amongst black people now with the comic books and the anime and things like that now, right? I think what we're trying to describe and using an inappropriate word for is a disconnect from black people, which is why I would probably go with square before I would with nerd.
Well,
I
there's
don't
a
know,
couple
just kind of thinking out loud.
there's a couple things that was said. One, what does the kids out of wedlock have to do with anything? Why
Who?
you say
Hold on,
that? Like what
hold on.
tip? I don't understand what would that
The
correlating
reason,
to?
so the reason that I said it is, if you correlate that I can have sex with this woman, but she's not a forever partner, we understand that if people are not being responsible and still being intimate, children will come out of that. And if you're saying that in your mind, I never have to see you as a viable wife, kids are kids. It is very odd to say that. Like, if you don't think that this person is worthy of being a wife, don't sleep with her. Don't have sex with this person. Don't date this person. All of your interactions with women
Do
should be
women control access to sex?
Camp. That's not what we're talking about. Please don't do
That's
that.
literally what we're talking about. So if
No,
women
it's
control
not.
access to sex, and then you're a proponent of my body, my choice, the
No,
conversation is
no, no.
over.
So, wait, let me ask you a question. Because do
Because
you
you said
think the black
kids out of
hold on,
wedlock, right? You
hold
said kids
on,
out of
hold
wedlock.
on,
So if
hold
women
on.
have absolution over that, I mean,
Can
it's
I
not
ask you
really
a
it's a
question?
non-starter.
No, I'm asking you a question. Is he looking at these black girls that he may potentially be intimate with and say, I will never see you as a wife. I will have sex with you, but I will never date a black woman. If he's saying that and they still sleep with him, fine. But if that is not what he's saying, then no, some trickery, some foolery, and that's a miss. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like if you say, I will never marry you, I do not see you as
No,
a wife, I do not see you as a
you're
forever
dealing.
partner.
You're dealing with an adult, right?
I'm
You're
asking,
dealing with an adult, and
is he saying
you're having. Yeah,
is he
he's here.
saying
It's
from
adult.
that
It's
you
adult
are not
behavior. So
marriageable?
to pass the buck when you're a proponent of my body, my choice, and we know women control access to sex, that's disingenuous.
Nah, we're having two way different conversations because the my body, my choice. I'm asking you, is he literally looking at these black? If let's say, and this is a if. Let's take his son out of it. Let's just say if a black man
I'm
is
not talking
saying,
about him.
no, I'm saying if a black man says, hey, I'll sleep with you, but I never see you as a wife. I'm never marrying a black woman. If that is what's said and she still sleeps with him, that is a choice. But I understand that some women will use sex as a connector and believing that if I'm intimate with you, that's going to connect us, not aware that he never sees you
Are you
as a wife.
okay? Okay. Are you realizing what you just said?
But having sex with somebody don't mean they're gonna
Hold on.
marry you.
Hold on. Do you realize what you just said?
What did I just say him?
The woman is leveraging sex as a connector. She
Okay.
is leveraging sex as a connector. She is leveraging sex as a connector. She is leveraging sex as a connector
Okay.
because
Is he
she controls it.
you?
She
I
has
didn't say
full. She
that's
has
not
full. All right, hold
that's
on for a second now.
yeah.
She has full agency over her body,
Okay.
right? You are a pro-choice advocate.
You don't, who said that? You're making an assumption.
Tell me you're not, and I'll concede it.
I'm for individual choice, but pro-choice. I don't think that
Yeah,
terminating
for
pregnancy.
choice, for
No,
choice.
as a
That's what
person.
pro is. For
So here's
choice.
the thing. So let me. So I'm
Mhm.
real grown. As a person that's terminated before, no, I'm not because I understand the devastation and what you have to heal from. So the conversation that we talked about
For
healing
choice.
will
For
always
choice.
be healing
For
from
choice.
that.
For choice. For choice. For choice.
You
For
said pro.
choice.
You said
That's what
pro.
pro is. For choice. Pro black, I'm for black. Right? Pro choice, you're for choice. That mean they can kill the kid or not.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that you want to
At the
kill
end of the
kids.
day, I'm just gonna
But
say right
you say if that woman wants to kill a kid, let her kill the kid.
okay, him.
So now that we have that understanding, if she has
It's
full
not
agency, my
understanding.
body, my choice, and then it's for choice, right? I don't know why you put that out there about kids that have out of wedlock because you were talking about the man's choices, but the women have
No,
full agency over that.
I am saying, and maybe again, let me walk it back. I don't know what you need me to say to make it make sense. I'm saying this, even in an intimate situation, if he is just saying upright, I will never marry you as a black woman. If she sleeps with him and it's unprotected and anything happens, yes, she made a choice. That is a choice. I would say you need to say up front, I don't ever see me and I will never marry you as a black woman. My dad told me if I want to be married, black women are not an option. So I
See,
will
so now here's what I want. All right, you can hold that thought now. Ladies, I want you to understand the jacket that type of rhetoric puts on y'all. It's like y'all are so stupid that men are just talking y'all out y'all draws left and right, over and over. And as long as he doesn't say that, so Tiff is saying that he's supposed to say this, Tay. I don't like black women for nothing but sex.
Yes,
As long as you know that, then we can have sex. Think about who Stevie Wonder could see ain't nobody saying that. But this is that jacket that doesn't make sense. You guys lack discernment is tough, but you guys have no discernment? Do you guys have no foresight, no intuition? Like that's not true. You guys are making conscious choices. When I used to go, the girl say, I said, hey, what you doing tonight? You coming to my room? You know what she say? Yes. I ain't say, hey man, I can't wait to kiss you on the lips. No. I was just at the room next door the night before. Like we can't do that. It makes y'all look like y'all stupid or something. These are conscious choices that are happening. Like it just, I think it's the accountability looks better on you than just to say you getting talked out your drawers all the time. But yo, what do we do with this? The panel, let's see how honest they could be. Know what I'm saying? So it should be interesting, man. There's still, I don't even know if there's any early bird tickets to DC left, but if you could make it there, man. It's going to be a wonderful weekend for sure. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.